Well, hello. I hope you're having a great day. We got some work to do. Shouldn't take too long, but let's take care of our notes first. We have one more problem to do in our notes. So let's go ahead and do problem 8 on page 66. We have a parallelogram with sides of 16 and 19 and an angle of 28. And our job is to find the longer diagonal. Now, obviously, you can just kind of tell from my picture, the longer diagonal is going to be this one. Now, we need to find the length of that. This is an area. This is find the length of that segment. Now, in order to do that, a couple of things we got to make sure we're clear on. The diagonals of a parallelogram do not bisect the angles. So please don't think that these are 14 and 14. I don't know what they are, but they're not 14 and 14, because the only way the diagonals are going to bisect the angles is if I have a rhombus, and I don't have a rhombus. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm sure if we were together, you would all be shouting out. You know that these are parallel lines cut by a transversal, and consecutive angles, consecutive interior angles, or consecutive angles of a parallelogram are always supplementary. So if that's 28, this guy is what, 152? And now we can find x using the law of cosines. So again, since we were finding the longer diagonal, we needed that angle, which is the supplement of the given angle. Obviously, the diagonal across from the 28 is going to be smaller than the diagonal across from the 152. So we want the long one, yep, longer diagonal. So we'll type this in, 16 squared plus 19 squared minus 2 times 16 times 19 times cosine 152. Don't forget to square root it. And I got 33.97, and I don't have a unit. So 33.97 inches, feet, centimeters, whatever it is, that would be the length of the diagonal. Okay? All right, that was easy enough. Now, notes are done. We're going to start reviewing, not today, but next time we're together. But before we start reviewing, next time we're together, we're going to take one more quiz. This quiz is over 5.5 and 5.6. That is the law of sines, the law of cosines, and area. So, I've got a little practice quiz prepared. You need to get out a sheet of paper. You're going to write these down, and you're going to practice them so that we have a great quiz the next time you are in this room with me in class, okay? The next time. All right, so our first question on our practice quiz, and I've only got 3 of them on this practice quiz, so you will probably have the same 3 on your real quiz. All right, how many triangles are possible? All right, so I've given you some information, and I've told, oops, not those letters. I've told you that angle M is 63, side M is 10, and side N is 9. So I don't know what the 3rd letter is, I'll just call it P. So the question is, this is, if you look at it, this is an angle side situation, and we want to know how many triangles are possible. Is it 0, is it 1, or is it 2? Well, let's go ahead and set up our law of sines. So sine 63 over 10 equals sine n over 9. sine 63 over 10, sine n over 9. So 10 sine n cross multiplying equals 9 sine 63. So sine n equals 9 sine 63 over 10. So n equals the angle whose sine is that fraction. All right, so here we go. I'm going to figure out what that angle is. Second sine 9 sine 63, close parentheses, divided by 10. I got 53.31. Now remember, sometimes when you do that, you get an error message. If you get an error message, that means there are no triangles possible. We didn't get an error, so we have at least one. So now I'm going to double check, is there another one? If there is another triangle, that angle n, the new angle n, is 180 minus the first one. So 126.69. So once you get your first angle, you check to see if there's a second one. If there is a second one, it will always be the supplement of the first one. So my first one was 53, so this one's 126.69. Okay? Now, is it possible to have a 63 and a 126 in the same triangle? Why no, that's more than 180, so that's not going to work. How many triangles are possible? Just that one. That's the only one that's possible. While I'm thinking of it, you will not have your colored sheet on this quiz. So you need to make sure you know the law of sines and cosines and area, how to do area. All right, find the largest angle of triangle ABC. If side A is 6, side B is 5, and side C is 8. The directions say find the largest angle. The largest angle. So obviously the largest angle is going to be across from the longest side, so that's C. So I'm going to find angle C. Now, to find an angle, I either need the law of sines or the law of cosines. I found an angle here and I used the law of sines. I am not going to be able to use the law of sines in this triangle because I don't have the right information. I need a pair and I don't have it. So this is going to be a law of cosines problem. And since I am finding angle C, the largest angle in the triangle, because that's what the problem said, since I'm finding angle C, I'll have 8 squared equals 5 squared plus 6 squared minus 256 cosine C. That's my law of cosines, finding angle C, which is across from 8. Be careful when you type this in. Remember, you cannot just randomly combine all these numbers because this is a term with a variable. So type it in carefully. Let's see what you come up with. I got 92.87. When I subtracted these guys over, I got 3, and that made negative 60, right? Yeah. So then I second cosine 3 over negative 60, negative 3 over 60. And that's how I got 92.87. And then finally, we have triangle TEF, my husband's initials. And angle T is 78, and angle E is 43, and side E is 10. And your job is to find the area of this triangle. Okay, please keep in mind that to find area, you either need the altitude so that you can do 1/2 base times height, or you need all three sides so you can do Hero's formula, or you need two sides and the included angle. Now, I'm thinking that is going to be our most efficient way of approaching this problem, because I think I can find another side without too much trouble. And since I have all the angles, really doesn't matter which side I find. Remember, the angles have to add up to 180. They add up to 180. So this one's 59. And now I can find whatever side I want. So you're not here to help me out, so I'm just going to say let's find side T. Okay? So here we go. Sine 43 over 10 equals sine 78 over T. I could also find side F. Does not make one single bit of difference. All right, so here we go. Cross multiply. So T sine 43 equals 10 sine 78. And T equals 10 sine 78 over sine 43. So I'll type it in. Ooh, gosh darn it. I got 14.34 for side T. Okay? Now, what's the area of the triangle then? I need the area of the triangle. Well, I now have two sides and the included angle. So my area is going to be 1/2 10 times 14.34 times sine 59. Please, you guys, whatever sides you have, you must use the sine of the angle between them. So if you found side F, which is perfectly okay, you would have 1/2 this times sine 78. You have to use the angle that's between the sides. So I don't have to round that off and retype it in. It's on my calculator. So 0.5 times 10 times second answer times sine 59. No round off error. 61.47. So the area of the triangle is 61.47. Okay? All right. So that's it for the practice quiz. It should be a pretty easy one for you. Also, since we finished the 5-6 notes, they will be due on Monday. So feel free, if you got some time today to get it done, get it done. But the 5-6 notes will be due on Monday. And now we need to talk about your Lenten literacy assignment. This semester, your paper is about Lent, about your Lenten journey. So what I'm asking each of you to do is to think of something that you can do, something small. I know you're busy, I don't want to take a ton of your time. Think of something small that you can do to improve the life of someone else. And this needs to be a repeated activity. It's not a one-time deal, okay? This is not a one-time deal. This is a repeated activity. So it can be repeated every Sunday. You go visit with your elderly aunt. Or Every Friday night, you cook dinner for the family. Whatever you're doing, it has to be a repeated activity. It can be repeated once a week. It can be repeated every day, whatever you want to do. But it's an action. It's something you are doing to brighten somebody else's day. So kids in the past have done those examples. They visited a relative who's in a nursing home or lives by him or herself and is lonely. So, grandma, cousins, whatever, visited somebody who doesn't normally get visitors. Wash the dishes 2 nights a week. Go to the grocery store on Saturdays for your mom. Whatever you can think of, something small to help someone else. And then you're going to write this paper, and you're first of all going to tell me in the paper, you're going to tell me what you did, and then you're going to tell me how it impacted you and how it impacted others. So if you are, let's say, you've decided for your Lenten promise that you are going to help your sibling 3 nights a week with his or her math homework. That's what you've said. I'm going to spend 15 minutes 3 nights a week helping my sibling. Then when you write your paper, you're going to tell me, how did that make you feel? And what was your sibling's reaction? How did he or she react in the beginning and over time to what you've done? Did those grades go up? Did he feel more confident? Was he happier? Did it bring you closer as siblings? Give me some feedback as to the impact on you and the other person of your Lenten promise. Obviously, this is not a paper that you can do today and submit tomorrow. This is a long-term assignment. You need to be thinking about what you're going to do because you have to start doing it, but you're not going to be able to write the paper until closer to the end. So the paper is due on April 13th, which is Holy Week. I think it's Wednesday of Holy Week, and that's when the paper is due in hard copy form by 3:15. Obviously, you can bring it to me before that, but please don't bring it too early. You need to work on this Lenten promise for at least a month. You have to work on this for at least a month so that you have some good feedback. And then you're going to turn it into turnitin.com, just like before. It's got to be MLA format. It's got to be typed, double-spaced, and a minimum of a page. This one is usually a little longer for most people because you're writing not just about you, but about the other person's reaction also. But a minimum of a page. You won't get penalized if it's a minimum of a page. You can absolutely write more. I posted, I think, everything I just said in Schoology. If you have a question about the paper, it's going to be worth 25 points, just like before. The paper itself is 20, and the turnitin.com component is 5. If you have a question about that, anything about the paper, please do ask me the next time we have class or come in during office hours. Okay, so here we go. Well, I'm done. Next time I see you, we're going to take a quiz. We're going to get back today's quiz, and we're going to start reviewing. The time I see you after that, we're going to spend the whole period reviewing, and the time I see you after that, we have a test over Chapter 5. So, you kind of have the rundown. Any questions, feel free to email me or come in and see me. I hope your test went well, juniors. Can't wait to see you. Bye.